Yo, what up YouTube? It is actually Prodigy and welcome back for another video. This time we're talking about, as you can see in the background, Destiny. And this is Destiny, The Dark Below, their expansion. Has it helped the game out? Has it helped the game to grow? Well, that's exactly what you're here to know, right? In the background you will see the Undying Mind, the exclusive strike on Mars to PlayStation players until fall of 2015. So let's go ahead and jump into it. First and foremost, does the gameplay radically change? What you'll see here shortly, I was a little behind setting up the recording. I apologize. But no, the gameplay, you still run around and shoot stuff. This time, they have noticeably reduced. I cannot, in my thinking, remember one time where I was just standing around waiting for a door to open or killing wave after wave. Now, you may be killing waves, which you do in every shooting game, which I won't fault this for. You definitely, in my opinion, have... It's far more enjoyable than the base game. Peter Dinklage does not speak, which, while that's arguable whether or not you enjoyed his performance or not, I feel the exclusion of him did make the experience better because of that lack of... Wait here while I open this door. Hold them off. Almost there. The clear lack of those vocals and that information really did make it an enjoyable experience. Now, before anybody says anything about the gameplay in the background, I am using Bad Juju mainly because I'm trying to level it up. I just want to get it maxed out, so I'm definitely just going to go ahead and use it, even though it is still a mediocre to bad gun overall in the loot table. So, what do I think of the DLC from a story standpoint? With many of y'all that don't know, my opinion of Destiny's story was that unlike everybody else who called it unfinished, I called it, I called the story, it's like the first book in a series. It is very much an introduction to the world, maybe even the first few chapters of an extremely long novel. While I would say it's unfinished, yes, the tale it sets up can be something far grander, far bigger than anything that otherwise has been presented, and this DLC helps to prove that. What do I mean? This DLC focuses solely on Crota and the Hive. For those that don't remember Crota, on the moon you did a mission called the Sword of Crota, as well as you had various references to him and the power that he held and how he was a Hive god. And I feel the statement from the DLC, from the trailer, that really capture this is when the character who you do meet says, I have seen what the Hive call a god. When you recognize what Crota brings to the Hive and what he can do, it is terrifying just how devoted they are to him. It is a somber tale when you hear of her and her teammates descend, how they had faith and courage, but that could not save them from Crota. Crota still demolished them, wiped them out. Now, the loot table isn't as good as it's always been. I will say that really quickly because of that drop you just said there. In these missions, I'm still getting green, but again, for the most part, to level up and to get loot in general, blue loot, it's far simpler. You can at least get rare loot a lot simpler, and legendary loot, if you're at the top of the chart, even if you're where I am, which is around, my of his character is now a 29 Titan following the DLC stuff. I can actually get a little bit higher. That's just in like a couple of days of playing. Then, very quickly I will say that you're going to be buying loot, and you're not going to have so many drops that are going to be amazing for you. And I think that's a good decision on their part. It doesn't hurt anybody that's on the lower end. If you're lower end, this content is a great addition. It's more added onto the story, and I think that you will enjoy it. Especially like that awkward time where you didn't have much to do between like 20 and 30. This gives you a little bit more content that has some challenge to it that you'll be able to do. As a level 28, I was able to run through all the strikes and content, except for this because I was unable to do so without too much of a problem. It was a fairly quick affair. I will say that the weekly heroic, and the weekly and the nightmare, right? Nightfall. Wow, my mind's a little bit off. Please forgive me. Are locked to this DLC, which, as somebody who bought the DLC, I'm kind of happy about. Many are getting angry because they own the base game, and what I would say to you is this: Had it been available, or had it been they released DLC and then the Nightfall not be in the DLC, the people who bought the DLC would feel cheated. It's the idea of, I understand your anger and how it's not fair, and the idea that they probably should have a separate playlist. But at the same time, it's to be expected when something new drops. All in all, though, what do I think of this DLC? How does it affect Destiny? If you did not like Destiny's game, if you did not like Destiny, this will not change your mind. Like many shooters today on the market, the game is what it is. It is the same game from when it started out until now. It's not going to just radically change. To those that wanted to give Destiny a little bit more playtime and looking for some more content, this is definitely it. It'll give you a good 3-4 hours. That's what it took me to go through, including both strikes. All of the content. I'm still doing some things. I haven't been able to do a couple of missions because you have to, one mission in particular, a story mission, you have to wait for Xur, as well as a few of the other side missions do take some time. So 4 or 5, I'll just say for like the main missions, not the side stuff, and ranking up, what would it be called, reputation. It's a good time, and for me, that's worth the $20. But that's what it comes down to. You can pay $20 or $32 for the season pass. Something like that, I think is what it is. I'll do a video talking about the gear maybe a little bit later and the raid in more detail. Because I have not done the raid, I haven't had my squad yet, I will not be talking about it, and I didn't talk about it clearly. But I will just say at least the raid is what convinced me to buy this. Go watch some streams of the raid and watch what it takes. And it impressed me. It impressed me enough, and the thematical changes with it were done well enough that I was convinced to pick up this DLC. But this is Prodigy here on Nation Awkward. As you can see, we're all finished up. This was just the end of it. It is much longer than this, the strike itself. But until next time, go ahead, join the Nation, become a knight, and we will keep on fighting for gaming, for equality, for everything. Peace.